So hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning for Eureka Solutions webinar on Has Your Business Outgrown Its Accounting Software? My name's Ross Johnstone and I'm a solution consultant here at Eureka Solutions, and I will be running through today's session. So to get it started quickly with the agenda for today, we're going to start by a quick introduction to ourselves, Eureka Solutions, before an introduction to Oracle NetSuite. Some of you on the call may already be familiar with NetSuite. Some of you, this will be the first time that you'll be seeing it, so we'll make sure that you've got an overview as to what NetSuite is and what it can do for you or your client's business. We'll then go on to the telltale signs that you or your client's business has outgrown the current accounting system and look at the challenges that these signs bring, as well as how NetSuite can help and be the solution to these challenges. We'll then go into a demonstration of NetSuite. We've got a demo account set up today to show you the product itself, and then we'll finish with about 5 to 10 minutes at the end for a quick Q&A session. Now the Q&A box is open, so if you've got any questions as we go, please feel free to drop them in that Q&A box and we can address them at the end of the session. So before we get into NetSuite itself, just as a quick introduction to who we are here at Eureka Solutions. So Eureka Solutions was founded in 1996 on two core principles, those being technical expertise and customer service, two principles that we still hold dearly to this day. Now, Eureka Solutions, we work with NetSuite Sage 200 as well as our own integration application Syncly. Now that means that if you have any integration requirements to any third-party systems as part of a move to NetSuite, then we can handle that all in-house. But less on that today and more on our focus for today's session, which is of course NetSuite. Now, as a business, we have grown from 3 staff in 2004 to over 70 today, with the majority of those being in technical roles. So really holding that core principle true of technical expertise. In terms of our other core principle, customer service, we provide a survey to all of our customers who, when we close a support case, and out of 7,000 reviews and counting, we currently average 9.7 out of 10 in terms of customer satisfaction. Now, all of those reviews are published live on our website, so of course we invite you to have a look and see for yourself what our customers are saying about us. In terms of our NetSuite credentials, we started as a solution provider in 2012, from which we received the EMEA New Partner of the Year. So now we've just recently reached our 10-year anniversary as a NetSuite solution provider, and with that we have also implemented over 100 NetSuite end-to-end projects. Now beyond that, of course, we have had hundreds more smaller projects, but that is complete end-to-end, moving from previous systems onto NetSuite and then growing from there. We received the NetSuite 5-Star Partner Award in 2021 as recognition to the customers that we bring to NetSuite, and also received the UK Best Performing Partner in 2021. We now have the certificate for NetSuite expertise in ERP, which once again is recognition of our stance as a solution provider and the service that we provide to our customers. So what is Oracle NetSuite? NetSuite is the world's number one cloud ERP system. It was founded in 1998 and acquired by Oracle in 2016. So it really is a tried and tested solution, with NetSuite widely seen as the first cloud computing software company. As such, NetSuite was born in the cloud, and it's a 100% cloud business management system. Now that means that unlike some other systems, it has not been repurposed from a previously on-premise solution. It has always been in the cloud and has been developed to always be in the cloud. NetSuite provides one unified system, so one database for multi-company financials, ERP, CRM, inventory, manufacturing, anything that you or your client's business requires. So it really is one single source of truth across your entire business. NetSuite can be accessed on any device, anytime, anywhere. There's no application that has to be installed on your laptop or PC. You'll see today when we get into the demonstration that I'll be accessing NetSuite through a Google Chrome browser. Obviously, with the backing of Oracle, as you would expect, NetSuite has extremely high class security and privacy. Obviously, high class product, as well as operational security and data management policies to make sure that your data is safe. Beyond that, there is an availability commitment of 99.7%. Now, in reality, for the past year, the average uptime has been 99.99%, so well above that commitment that NetSuite holds, and that can be seen at status.netsuite.com, as well as any live updates on the availability of the system. Now, NetSuite, unlike other solutions, with NetSuite, you benefit from automatic upgrades every 6 months. So what this means is that every user of NetSuite, every customer, is on the same version of the software. So you may be working with the likes of Sage just now, obviously other legacy on-prem solutions. They do have issues with version lock. With NetSuite, that's not an issue, as everyone automatically upgrades every 6 months. There is actually currently an upgrade rolling out between February, March and April, for which all of our customers will be upgrading onto. And with these upgrades, there's general product enhancements as well as new features that customers can take advantage of. As a result of all of these points, NetSuite is now used by over 33,000 customers worldwide. So once again, it really is a tried and tested solution across industries, across countries, across different types of customers. So in terms of our NetSuite customers, now of course this is just the sample of the over 100 plus customers that we have on NetSuite. You'll see here this slide is really just to demonstrate that we've got a variety of different industries that we provide NetSuite for. You'll see the likes of life sciences, retail, wholesale distribution, entertainment, sports, non-profit, as well as software. And we've also got MFG on there, who are our largest customer, somewhere around 4 billion in terms of revenue. So really showing the flexibility in NetSuite for supporting startups all the way to large multi-subsidiary and multinational countries. So what do our NetSuite customers say about us? So both of these customers have migrated with Eureka solutions to NetSuite and previously used Xero. So Bioforum used Xero themselves, and Trinity outsourced their accounting to a company that used Xero. Now you see here, I won't read these quotes, but just a bit of feedback in terms of, first of all, why these customers decided to work with ourselves and with NetSuite, as well as some feedback on how we are as a partner and the relationship that we build with our customers. Now you'll see that on our website we have case studies and press releases for these companies, as well as other ones as well. So once again, we invite you to have a look and see any case studies for similar businesses to you and how we've helped them with their move to NetSuite. Coincidentally, Trinity Grain were actually our 100th NetSuite customer. The head of finance there had actually worked with us before and came back to us, which reflects on our process as well as the value that NetSuite brings to our customers. So jumping into the focus of today's session on the signs that your business or your client's business has outgrown its current accounting system. So the first sign to look out for is a lack of visibility across the business. Now, there's various different challenges that come with a lack of visibility. To begin with, a lot of time spent or time wasted, you might say, collating information. Now, this may be from different systems, it may be from a variety of different places. And the end result is that you are unable to trust your data. So as well as spending time on manual processes and less time adding value, you also have less trust of that data. Now, what that means as well is that you have the inability to make informed business decisions, both because you can't get that insight quick enough, but also because of the lack of confidence in that data. In terms of how NetSuite can help, NetSuite provides real-time dashboards and KPIs out of the box, as you'll see during the demonstration. Now, beyond that, there are standard out-of-the-box reports with full drill down to the transactional level of detail. Once again, something that I can show during the demonstration later on in today's session. Beyond these out-of-the-box reports, these can also be customized. So if there's anything specific that you're looking to report on, anything that you're wanting to see that's specific to your business, then these out-of-the-box reports can be customized to give you that visibility that you need. As well as that, NetSuite, of course, as mentioned, can be accessed on any device, anytime, anywhere. So no matter where you are, you can have that visibility of the information and data that you need to make those informed business decisions. So another sign that your business has outgrown its current accounting system is the reliance on disparate systems or bolt-ons to increase the functionality that your accounting system brings. Now, with disparate systems, that means that there is no single source of truth, and you may end up with what has been described, lovingly described, as a business systems hairball. So where you start to get various different systems, whether that be one for accounting, one for inventory, one for your warehouse, WMS, one for any of your requirements, the systems start to build up and you no longer can access the information that you require from one single data source. Now, this also means that there is the requirement for a re-entry of information across systems, meaning that you once again are spending time duplicating effort when you could be analysing the data that's brought from this system. Beyond that, with the use of bolt-ons, which are common for the likes of Xero, Quickbooks and so on, you may find that the system is being expanded beyond its intended use. And of course, with that comes limitations in terms of functionality. So how NetSuite can help. NetSuite's very nature is one unified database. You'll see there on the image on the side that it brings in all areas of your business. So ERP and financials, CRM, project management, supply chain management, if that's a requirement for your or your client's business, human resources, e-commerce, as well as having functionality that can be built out from there as well. So NetSuite is a suite of functionality across the entire business, and as well as that, you can grow NetSuite alongside your business as well. So if you want to look at a phased implementation and take advantage of different areas of the system as you grow, then of course you can do that and benefit from smaller projects phasing as you take up more usage of the system. Another sign that you or your client has outgrown the current accounting system is a reliance on manual processes. Now, manual processes have various forms, and a key indicator of that is too much time being spent in Excel. Now, this could be on stuff like fixed assets, accruals, prepayments, allocating expenses across departments, all of which can be automated and done within NetSuite, so reducing the amount of time that's spent in spreadsheets. Now, of course, with this, manually entering information and manually processing information, that makes the processes open to human error. Now, of course, we are all human, the more time that's spent manually entering data, then the more chance of errors when entering that data. Another challenge associated to manual processes is inefficient workarounds. So depending on the system that you're on and the functionality that it provides, you may start to find yourself having to manually work around certain pieces of functionality or carrying out certain processes outside of systems. One that we see quite a lot of the time is the likes of approval processes taking place in email, so email approvals. Of course, if you were to bring in that into the system, you can benefit from all of the automation there, as well as having a full audit trail of any approval processes that have taken place within the system. So how NetSuite can help? So NetSuite provides a variety of different tools and functionality to automate key processes and reduce the reliance on spreadsheets. So there's a whole suite analytics module which brings in all different types of reporting functionality. Of course, there's dashboards, KPIs, reports, and so on that come out of the box. And Suite Analytics is designed to reduce the reliance on third-party systems like Excel and spend more time within the system itself analysing data. NetSuite also automates key processes, so the things that I mentioned, like fixed asset management, expense allocation across cost centres of departments, accruals and supplier payments. All of these can be automated within NetSuite, reducing the amount of time spent manually processing, as well as reducing the number of processes that are open to human error. With NetSuite, there is also built-in approval workflows. You'll see an example of NetSuite's visual workflow generator there on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, the workflow generator can be used to build whatever approval process you require. So whether that be invoice approvals, purchase order approvals, sales order approvals, so on and so forth, they can be built within NetSuite, and once again, really benefiting from the automation as well as the full audit trail of what has happened in the system. So another sign that your business is outgrowing its accounting system, or perhaps another reason why you should consider the current accounting system, is rapid growth. Now, of course, rapid growth takes a variety of different formats depending on your business, but the goal of pretty much any business is to continue growing. Now, with growth, there of course are a lot of different business challenges that come alongside that, one of which being the current systems don't scale alongside the growth of your business. So the likes of Sage 50, Xero, Quickbooks, they're all very much limited in what they can do and cannot be easily expanded beyond that functionality. So the current systems are unable to scale with that level of growth. An example of that being Xero, who actually admit themselves in their developer documentation, and this is a word-for-word quote: Xero is not suitable for all types of business, particularly those with very high transaction volumes. It then goes on to mention a limit on the system being designed for up to 1,000 sales invoices and 1,000 purchase invoices per month. So of course, if you are approaching those volumes or plan to reach those volumes as part of future growth, then the system there will not scale alongside the growth of your business. Along with growth, this often coincides with increasing business complexities. Now, these complexities may be the likes of the business model itself, or they could be industry-specific challenges such as inventory management, distribution, manufacturing, contract management, revenue recognition. Obviously, the list goes on depending on the industry or the type of business that you are. And with these challenges, the system often does not support those complex functionality, the complexities that are coinciding with that rapid growth. Now, as well as the complexities of business processes and different considerations there for industry-specific challenges, rapid growth also means that there is a bigger requirement for business intelligence. Now, this may be because you are wanting to measure performance across new channels as the business grows, which of course furthers the requirement for business intelligence. Another thing that we see is that rapid growth is often down to a trigger of investment into the company. And of course, with investment, there are requirements for reports for investors, for which systems like Sage 50, Xero, QuickBooks, and so on do not provide the visibility that's required for these investors. So how can NetSuite help? So NetSuite is flexible, scalable, and customizable. So NetSuite supports businesses all the way from startups to large multinational organizations, enabling businesses to unlock their potential growth. Beyond that, of course, NetSuite provides a lot more functionality than other systems that we've mentioned throughout today's session. And beyond that, NetSuite can be more easily customized. So as well as bringing that additional functionality, you can expand beyond that functionality much easier with NetSuite, as it is customizable and scalable. With NetSuite, we also use the Suite Success methodology, which is focused on an implementation stairway. So what this means is you can really grow the system alongside your business. As these complexities come, you can increase the functionality that you're using and bring that into the system as well. Of course, in terms of the business intelligence requirements, there's real-time analytics, dashboards and KPIs, reports and so on, providing you the visibility that you and your investors need for informed decisions. So similar to rapid growth, another sign that your business has outgrown its accounting system is global expansion. Now, of course, very similar to growth, expanding into new markets. Now, there's various different challenges that come with global expansion, including the requirement to meet local regulations and comply with them. Of course, multi-language, multi-currency, multi-tax implications, as well as group consolidation. Now, of course, we've got group consolidation here as a challenge for global expansion, but beyond that as well, if you are expanding the number of subsidiaries or entities within your home country, so within the UK, then consolidation is also a consideration and a challenge that comes along with this. In terms of other systems, of course, do not support the likes of multi-language, multi-currency, multi-tax. Xero, for example, is only available in English, so it may be time to consider moving to a new system if you are looking to expand globally into new markets. So how can NetSuite help with global expansion? It can help through NetSuite One World. Now, NetSuite One World delivers a real-time unified global business management solution for businesses that manage multi-subsidiary or multinational operations. Now, what this means is you've got, once again, that one unified system for all of the companies within your group structure, meaning that you can access all of the data across that group in one place. As well as that, there are localizations for country-specific requirements. So there are countries supported across the globe. Obviously, NetSuite being a global solution, there are out-of-the-box localizations which provide you with the tax compliance and so on for various different countries. Beyond that, there's a variety of intercompany functionality to take the pain out of consolidation and provide a more automated solution. So things like intercompany eliminations can, of course, be automated with NetSuite. Once again, reducing the amount of time manually spent on consolidation there. So, of course, these are all just examples of the challenges that businesses face when they have outgrown their current accounting system. You may have experienced all of these challenges, or you may be experiencing some of them, or they might be on the horizon, but these are certainly things that we have seen across our customer base when using the likes of Sage 50, Xero and QuickBooks. In terms of real results, so the results of moving to NetSuite, you'll see here that we've got a survey comparing moving to NetSuite from QuickBooks. 93% of those surveyed saw an increase in visibility and control over their business, once again coming back to the informed decision making that NetSuite brings. 80% of those actually switched to NetSuite because they require better reporting and tracking. So once again, coming to that lack of visibility being a sign that you should consider moving to a different accounting system and you have outgrown the current one. Beyond that, there is independent research which has been carried out by SL Associates, which has saw key wins across various different areas. So once again, coming to the visibility, saw an increase of between 50 and 80% for customers that have moved to NetSuite. In terms of the financial management, things like revenue performance, time to close financial books, key wins all across these areas. And this has also been reflected in our own customers with the likes of reducing the time to close financial books from 3 weeks down to 3 days for one of our customers. So it really is recognised across our customer base, as well as across the research carried out here by SL Associates. So now is time to jump into a demo account and give you a demonstration of NetSuite. Now, of course, today's session is really just to give you a taste of the look and feel of NetSuite and what it can do in terms of visibility and functionality. We do encourage you to reach out following today's session if there is anything specific to your business that you want to see. Obviously, we've got a variety of different attendees here today that want to see different things. So if there is anything specific that you want to see of NetSuite, then please reach out to us following today's session and we can set up a more tailored demo. Once again, the Q&A chat box is still open, so if there's any questions as we go, either on the slides that I presented there or on the demonstration, then please feel free to drop them into the Q&A box and we'll leave aside some time towards the end of the session to address those questions. So you'll see here, I am currently in a Google Chrome browser on NetSuite's landing page here. So as mentioned, NetSuite doesn't require any application that's downloaded onto your laptop or PC. It's simply accessed through the web as a 100% cloud solution. You'll see here in the top right-hand corner, we can log into NetSuite. So I will log into the demo account that we have got set up for today. Now with NetSuite, there are different editions of the software, and these editions are based on the different industries that NetSuite is used across. So things like wholesale distribution, manufacturing, software. No matter what your business is, there will be an edition that is suitable in bringing the requirements that you need. Today we have got a financial first edition of NetSuite, which is really focused on just bringing the key financial and accounting information that you require. Of course, using a phased approach, you can begin with this edition and add in additional functionality as you continue to grow alongside the system. You'll see here that we have logged into our NetSuite demo account for today. And you'll see that we are greeted by our home dashboard, which is our landing page within NetSuite itself. Now, straight away, you'll see the visibility of the information that we get here, and we'll go into a bit more detail on that in a moment. But before we do that, just bringing you back up to the top of the screen, you'll see here that we are currently logged in as the CFO, and you'll see from our drop down that we've got various different roles that are available in the system. Now, throughout the demonstration this morning, we'll go through some of these different roles and show you how different users interact with NetSuite. These roles come out of the box, so based on the addition of the software that you've got, there will be leading practice roles for which NetSuite, based on the 33,000 plus customers, expects you to require. Now, of course, every business is different. There's different roles across different businesses. These roles can then be used as a basis to tweak the permissions and restrictions to give your users the level of access that they require. But there really is a stronger starting point through these roles that are provided out of the box. You'll see here as well that we have got our global search. So this allows us to search for any records or transactions in the system. You'll see they are using our CUS prefix for customer. We can quickly and easily search for our customers. If I was to delete that prefix, then it will search for any records or transactions in the system related to them. You'll see there, for example, we've got an opportunity that's related to that customer, as well as a contact there as well. So coming down to the traditional menu structure, you'll see here that there's a drop down of different modules, different areas within NetSuite, providing access to the CFO across these different areas of the system. As we continue on with the demonstration and go through different users, you will see that the traditional menu structure differs depending on their level of access and the areas of NetSuite that they have got to be able to access. So coming down to the home dashboard itself, you'll see here that it's made up of different sections, giving visibility into different areas. Now for the CFO, this provides the high-level information across the entire business. These sections can be personalised by the end user. So say, for example, they want to move these around the screen, then of course, using drag and drop functionality, they are able to do so. You'll see here as well that we've got the personalised tab here up on the top right. This allows us to add in different sections, so whether it be different report snapshots, KPI meters, searches, anything that we need to add to our home dashboard, we can do so with the personalised tab there. Coming into the home dashboard itself, you'll see that we've got the likes of reminders, which means as soon as we log into the system, we know exactly what tasks and things that we need to carry out. These are easily set up and configured by the end user. So you'll see here we've got the likes of purchase orders to approve, invoices to approve, all taking advantage of those inbuilt approval processes in the system. But you'll see here it's extremely easy to add and remove these different reminders. So we can do that once again through the drag and drop functionality there. These, of course, hyperlink to different areas of the system. So if we were to click through this, it would take us to the purchase order that we have to approve and so on. With the reminders, reminders can be set for any data, any information that is within the system. Now, what that means that if you have that data, then you can report on it and you've got that visibility on your home dashboard of things that you want to look out for. Now, an example of that is invoices that are over 30 days old, over £50,000 in value. So making sure that the CFO has visibility of those high-level invoices. Of course, depending on what the user or what your business wants to specifically see, those reminders can be extremely flexible to give you visibility of the things you want to see across your business. Coming here to the KPIs, once again, KPIs can be set up by the end user. You'll see that we can add standard KPIs as well as custom ones. So once again, if there's anything specific or unique that your business wants to report across, then you can create custom KPIs to provide you that information. You'll see here as well the ability to change the range that we're reporting across. So in this example, we're looking mainly at the last period versus the period before last. Obviously, being the 1st of February, there wouldn't be many transactions for the current period. You'll see here that we've got visibility for the CFO across our expenses, revenue, receivables, payables, inventory, you name it. And all of these figures come from reports that are in the system. And what that means is we can drill down into the transactional level of detail from here. We can go into the reports and see the transactions that make up these total figures, meaning that we can quickly and easily interrogate any of the data that is on our home dashboard, which we'll come back to shortly once we've gone through the rest of the visibility that the home dashboard provides. You'll see here on the right hand side, we've got the likes of KPI meters. So in this case, we've got receivables and payables. Once again, extremely easy to change the KPI that we're looking at and get visibility of that on our home dashboard. Scrolling down through the rest of the home dashboard, you'll see that we've got our tiles as well as our navigation shortcut groups. These are just different ways that users can navigate through the system, but whether you use the global search, the traditional menu structure, tiles, or the navigation shortcut groups, you will get to where you need to be in NetSuite. It very much is up to user preference. And what that means as well is that if a user doesn't want to have the tiles on their screen because they're not using them, they can quickly and easily remove them as well and no longer see that on their home dashboard. Scrolling down, you'll see our subsidiary navigator. As mentioned, NetSuite is one unified system for all of the companies within your group structure. So this means that we can have the full visibility of the holding company, in this case, if it's a group CFO, as well as being able to filter information down to the individual subsidiaries. Now, of course, with this, the entities can also be used to restrict the permissions. So to make sure that only certain users, for example, have access to our UK trading company or our Netherlands trading company and so on, really limiting down the access in the system. You'll see here as an example, if we click on our Netherlands subsidiary, what this does is it refreshes and filters our home dashboard to only show us the information related to that entity. You'll see here as well that it has also changed to the euro, which is set up as the functional currency within this demo account for that subsidiary. Once again, if we click on our UK trading company, that will refresh and you'll see all the figures only relating to that entity. But once again, if we click on our holding company, then you'll see the full consolidated totals across our entire group structure. Now, what that means for our group CFO is that they do not have to worry about going between systems, logging in and logging out to different accounting systems. They've got all of that information in one place and can access that at their fingertips. Scrolling down through the rest of the home dashboard, you'll see that we've got some examples of trend graphs. We've got revenue by period here on the right-hand side and our bank balance by period on the left-hand side. All of these trend graphs can be easily changed in terms of the visibility, the way that we are illustrating these figures, as well as, once again, setting these up to show different KPIs or to add multiple KPIs onto the same trend graph. So once again, the user is really very much in control of the visibility that they've got, making sure that they've got that data visible so that they can make actionable insights. Once again, going back to that lack of visibility in other accounting systems as a sign that you have outgrown your system. You'll see here as well that these trend graphs can be taken out of the system. So if you were creating any board packs or reports, so on, then these can be downloaded straight out of the system quickly and easily. Scrolling down through the rest of the home dashboard, you'll see that we have got our financial scorecard. Pretty similar in terms of visibility to our KPIs at the top of our home dashboard. This has given a sort of more granular breakdown into different financial figures here for the CFO. Obviously, being the first of the month, this period doesn't have much in the way of revenue and so on, but this provides that visibility across different periods, as well as being able to create a trend graph on the fly, and once again be able to take that out of the system if looking to do so. As well as the KPIs, these figures are drillable, so all come from different reports in the system. So if we wanted to interrogate these figures further, then we could do so at the click of a button. So as promised, coming back to our KPIs, these figures here all come from different reports in the system and as such are fully drillable. You'll see here with NetSuite being in a browser, we can use that native browser functionality to open this in a new tab. That means we can continue working away on our home dashboard whilst opening up our P&L in a separate tab here. You'll see here that we have got our P&L. The first thing you'll notice is that the chart of accounts is streamlined, which I will get into in a moment. But in terms of these figures, they are then, of course, drillable as well. So clicking on our revenue here, we can see all of the invoices, journals, credit memos, so on, that make up this figure. Now, of course, once again, we've got the browser functionality allowing us to open these in new tabs. So if we wanted to continue interrogating what makes up our total figure, we can do so by viewing this detail and open up the individual transactions in a separate tab. For example, this invoice that we've opened up here, which provides us the full detail in terms of what we have invoiced our customer for in this example. Now, not sure if anyone's been counting the number of clicks from the home dashboard, but around 3 clicks there to get all the way down to the transactional level of detail. Once again, making sure that there's that full visibility to be able to make informed business decisions. So coming back to the P&L itself, you'll see here down the bottom, we've got the options in terms of the periods that we're looking at. Just to give us more demo data, we'll roll this back to the previous financial year. You'll see once we refresh, that totals up and we have got our full P&L for the group company, the consolidated holding company, for the previous financial year, which in this demo account is the calendar year, January to December. Using the columns, we can then slice and dice information, which is the reason for the leading practice streamlined chart of accounts. So NetSuite recommends having a streamlined chart of accounts, which reduces the number of GL codes, and then using classifications which are tagged on transactions to slice and dice that information. So a couple of examples in this demo account that we've got set up are the likes of department. So looking at cost centers, of course, we can slice and dice this down. We've got our administration, marketing, operations, sales departments in this example. But depending on your business, of course, various different departments can all be supported, as well as parent and child hierarchies being supported as well. Another example in this demo account is class. So looking at a full breakdown of our different profit centers. You'll see here in this demo account, we've got phases set up, but depending on your business, that of course could be different channels. If you're an event-based business, it could be different events. If you're a product-based, it could be product categories and so on and so forth. You'll see here an example of the hierarchy. We've got our phase 3, which we can see the total of, as well as breakdown into phase 3A and phase 3B. You'll see here as well that, of course, these figures are also drillable. So if we wanted to interrogate these figures further, then we would be able to do so. So at the moment, of course, we've been looking at the consolidated holding company. So we can use the subsidiary as well to be able to slice and dice our reports. So what this is doing is it's given a full overview of our total P&L for our holding company, but then breaking that down into the Netherlands, US and UK. As well as being able to do this with the column, we can of course change the subsidiary context to view the subsidiaries on an individual basis. So if we take Netherlands, for example, and refresh, you'll see here that we have now got our chart accounts, our P&L just for our Netherlands entity, and you'll see that that once again has converted to the base currency of euros for this entity. Now, what's happening there when we look at the consolidated figure is NetSuite is automatically rolling that up into GBP as our holding company's functional currency is GBP there. So once again, less manual effort when it comes to consolidation. Of course, I've just gone through a couple examples there in terms of how you may want to use these classifications, but there is an unlimited number of custom segments. So no matter what you need to report across, that can be set up within NetSuite. Obviously, going back to the points that we discussed in the webinar, stuff like being able to analyze global expansion across different entities, things like rapid growth being able to be analyzed by the visibility in different channels, different profit centers, whatever we may want to be looking at, can all be enabled through this in NetSuite. So if we just go back to our P&L here and refresh, you'll see here down the bottom that we've also got the option to take this directly out of the system. So we can export to Excel, PDF, CSV, Word document. We can also print, email and schedule reports to go out. So say, for example, there's a report that you want to send out to some of your staff or customers or suppliers on a daily basis, then that can be set up and run on a schedule, which wouldn't require any manual intervention to be able to send out of the system. So just coming back to our home dashboard there, once again, if there's any questions, then please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box and we can address them in a couple of minutes. Really just looking to give an overview in terms of what visibility and what information NetSuite can provide and the functionality beyond your current accounting system. Of course, if there's anything specific that you would like to see or would like to ask, we encourage you to get in touch following today's webinar. Back at the home dashboard, you'll see here that we've also got the likes of our budget versus actual report. So this provides a pretty simple analysis in terms of our budgeted amount versus the actual amount here. Once again, if we go back to the previous fiscal year and refresh, we can see our performance as well as the variance there as well. You see that we've got different budget categories. So say partway through the year we reforecast, we can then analyse our actuals versus that reforecasted budget. And you'll see here as well that our typical columns apply. So stuff like class, department, location, subsidiary, even down to items, customers, whatever we need to budget down to, we can do so in NetSuite. So once again, just coming back to our home dashboard, just in the interest of time, we'll go through some of the other roles and the visibility that they have got. See, a couple of questions have been dropped in the Q&A box, so we can address them in about 5 minutes when we are hosting the Q&A at the end of the call. Coming back to the different user roles here, you'll see that we've got the likes of sales users. So if we click in here, you'll see the visibility that a sales user would get in the system. Now, as mentioned, NetSuite is one unified system for all of your finance, ERP, CRM, whatever data you need to be in the system can be. So NetSuite's sales user in this case is drawing from some of the CRM functionality that's in the system. So stuff like tracking leads, tracking opportunities, estimates, quotes, and so on can all be done drawing on that CRM functionality that's built into the system. You see here that we've also got the likes of the calendar view, so we can set up tasks, events, phone calls, anything like that to make sure our users are keeping on top of their diary. Now, of course, as an individual sales rep, all of these figures are focused on their own sales, obviously being the first of the month. The current period isn't looking so good as of yet, but we can see that in depth in comparison to our previous month and make sure that we are tracking performance. Using the global search, I'll navigate to one of our customer records. Now, our customer records as a CRM system holds all of the information that we require for our customers. So you'll see here things like the categorization, so saying that this is a retail customer, any contact information, email, phone, website address, and so on. any data that we require on our customer, we can hold within NetSuite CRM system. The fields on the screen just now, you'll see we've got the likes of comments on the right-hand side, free text box just to fill in any comments. These fields can all be added or removed depending on what information you need to hold on your customers. So if there's any additional fields that need to be added, that is something that you can do yourself. That doesn't require any development knowledge. It really is easy to expand out these records to provide you with the information that you require on your different customers, suppliers, and so on. Scrolling down here, you'll see the different tabs. So we've got the likes of our transactions, which show a breakdown of all of the transactions that we've got for this customer. Once again, ability to drill into these for the detailed analysis. We've also got our opportunities. So if we're looking at tracking opportunities, then of course we can do so in the system as well. Coming along to the financial subtab, you'll see that we can hold all of our financial information. So the terms that we've got agreed with this customer, any credit limits, and whether we want to automatically put transactions on hold if they reach or exceed their credit limit, as well as the different currencies that we are transacting with this customer in. Won't go through all of these tabs just for the sake of time, but of course being able to hold stuff on the address, any communication, so any files related to our customer, messages that we've sent out the system and so on are all stored within NetSuite. And of course we can track our relationships, so any contacts that we have with our customer can all be stored within NetSuite. As well as being able to view our customer records on the form, as we've been viewing just now, we can also view on our dashboard view, which once again provides that visibility of our customers. This dashboard view is of course customizable, so it can be personalized by the user. But for this example, we've got our top 5 items by sales, we've got our KPIs looking at our sales forecast, pipeline, overdue balance, and so on, giving us a comparison between this month and last month. Scrolling down here, just another way that we can access all of the transactions that we have got with this customer. And once again, these can all be drilled down into so that we can get down to that transactional level of detail quickly and easily. As mentioned, the sales reps view and visibility is all focused around their personal sales. But if it's a sales manager, for example, then they of course would want full visibility across the entire team. So you see here, this is the full company sales, new business, new customers, all of that information that a sales manager would want to report on, as well as reminders here on the left-hand side in terms of actions that that user actually has to take and visibility of certain things in the system that they require. Of course, once again, these dashboards come out of the box, but can be configured by the end user to make sure that they've got the visibility of the information that they need in the format that they want. Now, of course, that's just a couple of examples of the types of roles that come out of the box with NetSuite and you may make use of. But if you want to see any process flows, so looking at a full procure to pay, so raising and approving POs, receipting them, invoicing, and then three-way match, then that can all be done within NetSuite as well. And we would be happy to provide a session with you directly to talk through anything specific to your business and provide you with any further information on the other areas of NetSuite that we haven't had time to cover today. In the interest of time, just to make sure we've got enough time to go through the Q&A, that will be it in terms of the demonstration. Now, once again, if there's anything that you haven't seen today that you want to see in more detail, of course, we'll be reaching out after this webinar. So please feel free to get in touch and let us know what you would like to see for your business specifically.